Hello again, everyone. Today I am here with a flip through of my 2021 work journal. And I have talked on the channel before about how I was planning to do a flip through of my 2020 work journal, which I keep in, or kept in a A6 notebook from Chic Sparrow. But I've changed my setup, and the video that I filmed with my 2020 journal, I opted not to show it on the channel because it showed some things in my notebook that I didn't necessarily want to have on the channel. So I decided to go ahead and show you this one before I get too far into it, because otherwise I might not be able to show you much again. So like I said, my 2020 journal for work was in a A6 E-class, which I don't have the exact E-class handy, but essentially an E-class looks like this. I was using a black creme E-class for work. And this is my ink journal here that is a Evan Wood in the Enchanted Woods collection from Chic Sparrow. So, but it was this size that I was using, and it was a little small for work, and it just didn't really feel right. So for 2021, I have moved my work journal into a B6 Slim, which is what this is. And this is an Odyssey Athena, which I purchased off of a buy-sell trade group after they were discontinued. And I wonder, I don't know if it came this way or if I don't know if the person I bought it from was the first owner, but I'm wondering if whoever I bought it from actually rolled it. But whatever they did to it, I love the look of it, and it's really nice and rustic. And I kind of feel like I can throw this notebook around at work and not feel kind of precious about it. That's part of the reason why I was using the creme E-class before, as creme is a pretty sturdy leather. I just wasn't falling in love with that setup though. So the other reason for me moving into a B6 Slim, other than using this beautiful cover, is that I am planning on using the Jabun Techo for my work planner, and I have that in here. And I've already started it a little bit because the calendar, the regular Jabun Techo starts like a month or so early. So I've already started it, but I think there's little enough in here that I can still show you the setup. And the notebook that I had in my A6, I just have this little setup here. This is a Campo Marzio mini fountain pen that I just got off of a used site. And then I transferred the notebook where I was just taking notes. I called it a bullet journal, but it ended up being more of a note journal eventually. I tried to set it up as a bullet journal setup, and then that wasn't really working, so I just did it with notes, and I've actually gotten quite far in here, so I didn't want to switch that entirely. So in the meantime, I have moved that into this Lady Falcon. I think this is actually a field note size, but and I purchased this off, I think it was either a buy-sell trade group or maybe it was eBay. I think I bought it from Tina Preston. She was selling off her 5th anniversary Lady Falcon Traveler in this sort of green gold color. I actually cannot remember the color name, but it's a beautiful notebook. And so I just decided to move this one A6 notebook for work in here, and I'll probably use this just for regular notes when I'm at my desk and stuff until this is full, and then I probably won't be using the A6 anymore. And then in here, so I'll go ahead and open this up and show you what I have in here. So I have little notes and calendars in here. So this Odyssey, so those of you that don't know, so the Odyssey line from Chic Sparrow is discontinued, but what it was essentially a distressed version of what was then the Darcy leather and is now the Austin leather. And there was usually some coloration on here with some dye, and they didn't do it on this one, but they would also do cup rings or ink splatters on there. But it also came in an option to have 2 secretarial pockets. So that is the option that was included in this notebook. So, and I found that this is actually a better setup for work to have these two secretarial pockets. So that was also something that came into play when I decided to use this particular notebook for work, because the two secretarial pockets, I can just shove little notes in both sides and we're good to go. So, and then I have a little zip pocket here, which I'm actually not going to show you because it does have some personal information in the pockets. But this is just one of the Jaboon zipper pockets, and it does have some card slots in the front of it. So I've just put whatever cards I have in that, and that works really well. So this is the 2021 Jaboon Techo Biz, and I have it still in its cover. Oh, there's actually some card slots up here too, so I could also use those. And let me see. No, there's no card slots in the back except for this little slip pocket here. And then it does have a pen holder, but I'm using the pen holder on the actual notebook itself. So for this, I haven't put very much in here, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, I mean, there's there's nothing sensitive in here right now. So I can show you, I've just sort of started out for December. So my monthly calendar, I plan to just put the highlights here, and anything that I want to remember, just sort of at a glance. And then on the weekly spreads, I plan to have a little bit of a more detailed description of my meetings and things that I want to do during the day. One thing that I've already kind of noticed is that I do tend to have sort of a list of tasks to complete for a day. And it's not really handy for that kind of system. So what I've tried to do is, where in spots in the day where I don't have meetings, I've put actually little to-dos, and then just sort of check them off when I finish them. So we'll see how I like this weekly spread for work. And as you can see, a blank page, I'll just be doing the same. And like I said, my plan is to put in actual meetings that I have for the day, because it is numbered with the hours. I will actually put a link below to my comparison of the regular Jaboon weekly Techo, which this is, and the Jaboon Days diary. I did a video where I compared the two versions and the differences. And this is the one I decided to use for work, and I'm going to be using the Days for my personal setup, and I'm going to show that on the channel shortly as well. So that's really it. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with these tracking sheets at the beginning. There's not necessarily something that I need to track every day. I mean, maybe I'll just track like days off, or something like that. I'm sure I can find something to track there. And then it has all those lists in here, like books and that sort of thing. 100 wishes list. These aren't really applicable to work for me. Book list, maybe. There might be books that I could use. Favorite phrases. I don't know. Recommendation list. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with those. But so far, it's sort of up in the air as to whether or not I like this calendar system. And yeah, with the back, the blank note pages might be helpful, but essentially for now, it's a pretty simple setup. And then I have a notebook in here, and this is from Good Ink Impressions on Etsy, and this is a B6 slim size. And I don't have anything in here yet because I'm still using the A6 notebook that I have in here. But this is Tomoe River paper, but I have a erasable friction pen in here. And this is pretty much the only pen that I have been using, and it's already come in handy because I've already had to erase some meetings that got canceled or rescheduled in here, so it's been kind of handy. And there's not really room for another pen in here, but this has worked great for notes too. I probably will need to have, another couple of these ready if I need them. And then in the back I have a little field notes size notebook. And because I do work in the transportation industry, I got these field notes books specifically, and I had them on the strings in my A6 notebook, but they were so small. But it does kind of tuck away in the back pocket here, so it's kind of handy for just, quick notes. And I've actually been putting stickies in there because sometimes all I'll have handy is a sticky at my desk, and so I'll write notes on the sticky and then I'll transfer them to that book. That's currently what I'm using that for. So that's pretty much it. It's just a really quick flip through. I don't have too complex of a setup there, but we'll see how it works. We'll see if I can actually keep up the Jibun Techo. Sometimes during the weekday at work, things just go by so fast and I don't even really get a chance to do anything like this because I end up being so busy. Because I do work in a small office and we have lots of work. So I'm not sure. We'll see. I'll probably evaluate maybe halfway through the year and see how it's going. My thought was that I would maybe at the beginning of every week set aside some time to actually put things in my calendar, assuming I have the time, and see if that works. Or maybe doing it on a Friday, because Fridays tend to be a little bit slower. Maybe I could, do it for the following week or something like that. But I haven't gotten into a groove yet, and this is a new setup. So we'll see how it goes. But so far, I'm really loving the cover. It just feels so good in the hand. And I think it's professional looking enough, even though it's very rustic. I think sometimes people looked at my tiny little A6 notebook, which, is relatively tiny compared to a notepad or something. And they would think, oh, what's with the tiny notebook? So maybe this, when open, maybe it'll look a little more professional. I don't know. Not that I really care about that. It's for my own use. But I think that's all I had for you today. I'll put the links that I talked about down below. And like I said, I'll put a link to the comparison video of the two different Jibun Techo types for 2021. And I think that's it for today. Well, I hope you enjoyed. If you like this video, give it a like. If you would like to subscribe, please do, so you can keep track of future videos on my channel. And I hope to see you next time. But in the meantime, have a great day. Thanks so much. Bye.